Is conscription coming back to the United Kingdom? We already reported some months ago, before the false flag in Israel, that there were plans in order to bring back conscription in the United States, according to the American War College. Well, now the United Kingdom is pushing forward the notion, the government is pushing forward the notion that conscription could be coming back. As Sky News reports, is conscription coming back? How it's been used in previous wars, and what a UK citizen army would involve in the future. We have a lot of people talking about this. Boris Johnson is saying, according to the Telegraph, "Of course, I jolly well would." Boris Johnson pledges to join army to fight Russia if needed. Former Prime Minister says he supports General Sir Patrick Sanders, calling for a citizen military in the face of dwindling recruitment figures. Well, this is a sign of a dying civilization. And they're creating the problem in order to come in as a solution, which then further promotes a problem and actually causes the collapse of said civilization. This out of RT, it says, NATO member rejects British call to prepare for war. Well, as we see, the Romanian prime minister speak out against this notion because, of course, he's bordered with Ukraine. I was in Romania last year, or the year before, back in 2022, I believe, and it's a really incredible place. But, they've been through a lot over the last century. The last thing they need is to be pulled into the middle of World War III. Well, we have to remember why this is happening. As I previously reported, the Navy has so few soldiers, it has to decommission ships. They're out of their entire stockpile, according to the UK military, after giving it all to Ukraine. And there's also upcoming false flags on the horizon that we need to go into as well, which I've reported on before. But it all kind of comes all together alongside the issue of Israel and Gaza and the false flags around that, as a lot of those are being exposed, but the Red Sea is shut down, shipping is destroyed, and they pull us into a great reset conflict. We're going to go into this and much more today, what the agenda is going forward in this video. But before we do, my friends, I urge people to check those links below. If we are talking about conscription, now is the time to go and check out heavensharvest.com and get long-term storeable food that's non-GMO. There's organic kits, heirloom seeds, water filtration and storage, and books on how to get started. Use code WAM, W-A-M, and you get free shipping on much of these products. Again, this could save your life, save your family's life. You're saving money versus inflation. And of course, it's better to be overly prepared than underprepared. Get a combo kit. I know it sounds expensive, but over time, it's actually a huge investment, and you save your life so you don't end up eating mRNA food and bugs in a Bill Gates ration line. Speaking of that, also check our link for Wild Pastures. And if you use our link, you get 20% off for life plus $15 off your first box of 100% grass-fed and finished beef, pasture-raised pork, pasture-raised chicken, and wild-caught seafood. No modified RNA or mRNA, no GMOs or hormones, no antibiotics, steroids, feedlots, pesticides, or any other chemicals, all raised on regenerative family farms in 48 U.S. states, delivered to your door, temperature controlled. You can customize it however you see fit. You save money versus inflation. You save yourself from eating pink slime, mystery meats, modified RNA, GMOs, all that other crap that we're finding in the food supply currently. And on top of that, you're saving the farmers, the family farmers who are under attack in the face of the Great Reset as they try to promote factory farms to replace, actual independent farms. This is a huge move going forward by the World Economic Forum, and we need to stand up against it. This is one of the ways to kill multiple birds with one stone. Again, check out that link for Wild Pastures. That's 20% off for life plus $15 off your first box. Now let's get into this. So this is absolutely insane news, but we all knew it was going to come eventually. They have to hint at it a little bit before it swoops in and takes us away. This out of Sky News. Is conscription coming back? How it's been used in previous wars, and what a UK citizens army would involve in the future. Yeah, all the past fake wars like World War I, World War II, both cause absolutely insurmountable damage, promoted communism worldwide. I mean, World War I led to the rise of the October Revolution, the promotion of a communist state in Russia. And we also have to remember World War II basically took all restrictions in place against communism, propped them up, supported them, and then also led to the creation of the Israeli state, creation of the United Nations. Both of the wars had something similar in common with that, previously League of Nations and the United Nations, and led to decades and decades of conflict, including what we're seeing today in Israel. On top of that, it also led to, the Vietnam War. It led to the Korean War, which caused the creation of North Korea. Iran being the coup in 1953, which led to what we see today with Iran versus Israel, which was propped up by the U.S. It's all one circle. 2014 military coup propping up Ukraine. I mean, everything that we're seeing here is all these countries fighting were all created by the West in the first place in order to replace the West later, China included, with Kissinger meeting with him in the 70s. So again, this is a hoax. It is meant to bring in conflict. And remember, we recently reported that the American War College is calling for conscription as well. This article says comments from top military official about what could happen if NATO goes to war with Russia have made conscription feel closer than it has in generations. But what exactly is conscription? How has it worked in the past? And how is it different to a citizen army? Every world war is a reset, and they want that reset really badly, and they want to sacrifice you in the face of bringing down their own empire, and all by design. Conscription hasn't been used in the UK for more than 60 years. But comments from top military officials about what could happen if NATO goes to war with Russia have made the possibility of being called up to fight feel closer than it has in generations. General Sir Patrick Sanders, the outgoing head of the British Army, said such a conflict would need to be a whole-of-nation undertaking, which reignites a debate about defense cuts and volunteering to fight. Here, Sky News looks at how the UK has used conscription before and what military experts and the government say about bringing it back. Now, I don't want to go into all those stories about the First World War and people 18 to 41 and all that kind of stuff. We already know that. It wasn't popular. 200,000 protested against it. About 2.5 million men joined through conscription, which lasted until 1920. Okay. And so on and so forth. And then there's a limited conscription in 1939 and age 20 to 22, requiring them to sign up. And then it went on to 18 to 41. Again, we can go into all that stuff, the Vietnam War in the United States, etc. But, we see a lot of people talking about how they need this to happen now in the government. So military analyst Professor Michael Clark told Sky News Daily podcast the UK will probably have to go back to having a citizen army, but stressed this is not the same as conscription. Okay, it says, and I quote, "It will need to be a citizen army, but a citizen volunteer army of the sort that we've had in the past, and we will probably have to once again in the future." The problem is every single time they go into conscription, they start with it being voluntary. Every single time. And the propaganda is surmounting so much. I mean, this from the Telegraph. Of course, I jolly would. Boris Johnson pledges to join army to fight Russia if needed. Look at this absolute goof. I think they cut his hair around that helmet. Again, this is something that is obviously absurd. I mean, Boris Johnson brought in COVID restrictions while partying and not even following his own COVID restrictions. Tell me more about how he would jump in front of a bunch of bullets. I mean, come on, give me a break. Absolute nonsense.